So, what are the best middle schools in Charlotte, North Carolina? You know, Charlotte, NC is a good sized city with the perimeter of a lot of small towns around it. And of course, real estate is more expensive right here in the, Charlotte than it is on the outlying areas. I had a great call from a lady from Long Island, New York today, and we got to talking about what her needs were for her family. And we talked about what school, grade school, high school. And so we started focusing in on middle schools. And so I sent her a tool. I'll have a link in the description below, right to this page. And it's from greatschools.org. You know, as it comes to schools, what I think is a great school doesn't really matter. You are the buyer. You are the parent. What you think is a great school is what matters. And so doing your own research on that is important. There's several criteria, as you know, when you're buying a house. One of the first ones is price. A lot of times when people call me, one of the first questions is, tell me about your budget. Because as they're describing the lifestyle that they want, the house that they want, the proximity maybe to work or to the airport that they want, to family, I'm always thinking in terms of price because I kind of mentally sort out areas based on price. You can live wherever you want that you can afford, right? So that's the way we think, whether that's a mortgage approval or whether you're paying with cash. So what's cool about this, and she really inspired me to do this video today because I know people are always searching, not just for homes, but for what's important to them for their family. And so I did this search on the best middle schools in the greater Charlotte area. So when you think about Charlotte, the 485 is a loop that goes all the way around town, 60 some miles. And then 77, I-77 goes north and south, goes up to the Mooresville area and up, towards Virginia, and 77 south. In fact, the state line is right here. So 77 south, you hit, Fort Mill is in South Carolina. So state line runs down that way. So what's important to you? How do you sort of say what's a great school? Well, if you do this search and you start thinking, and when you call me, having a budget in mind is really helpful because when she called, I just looked up, she mentioned a particular small town. I look up right there and I said, well, the houses there are ranging anywhere from this price to that price. Really it was from this price to that price. And that wasn't really the best way for me to serve her. The best way was to say, what do you think are the great schools? What would constitute a great school to you? In other words, a school with a 7 rating, but has high test scores and there are other factors that go in, could be a decision maker for you. So if you called me and said, hey, I want either 1, 2, 3, or 4, I want a house in one of these 4 school districts, and my budget, I won't spend a dime over X. That's really helpful. So let's just dive into here a little bit. Again, Center City, Charlotte, right here. And I did my search for top-rated schools within 30, middle schools within 30 miles of Charlotte. So there's the pin, and going out 30 miles, these are areas that we sell in all the time. For instance, Hickory Ridge, there's that one right there. I was out there not long ago with one of my broker partners, and we shot a neighborhood, really hot neighborhood, kind of a waiting list type neighborhood, hard to get in, hard to win the lottery and so on. And that partner of mine is Rodney Jones, and he's got a great answer for that. Say, Rodney, how do I win the lottery on a home? Because sometimes there are, say, 3 lots for sale, and there are like 30 people that want them. So they've got to have a system. And Rodney said, well, that's easy. You just offer more than everybody else. It's crazy, but true. But there, even in a lottery like that, there are several criteria. And, the market the last couple of years has been up and down, hot and cold. Of course, the mortgage rate increases kind of put a damper on certain aspects of the real estate market. And so there are a lot of nuances to it, and we do stay current. I'm a team leader. I've got 4 other agents that are out doing deals, working with lenders, working with the inspectors, and just there are a lot of moving parts to a real estate transaction. Don't let anybody tell you you don't need a buyer agent. I think you do, and that's what we do really well. We also list and sell homes in the greater Charlotte area. But back to the best middle schools in the greater Charlotte area. So I did 30 miles as a criteria because these are all areas, and of course with COVID, remote working, we find a lot of people in the outlying areas. So like for instance, I was in Belmont not long ago. There's a new Del Webb there. And let's just say that you're moving down. Maybe you're my age. You're moving down because your adult kids and grandkids are coming down, and maybe they took a job and they're going to be maybe on the west side of town. Belmont is a great small town that is close to Charlotte. Like the airport's right here. The CLT airport's right here. So Belmont is easy peasy if you're traveling a lot. And this particular one is called Cramerton Middle School. Now, Cramerton's right next to Belmont. So if you had kids that were middle-aged, middle school, not middle-aged, but middle school, and the parents wanted to live in that brand new Del Webb community right on the South Fork of the Catawba River, that's kind of a no-brainer, right? So you can do your research a lot of different ways. Let's just say that I mentioned that one. So let me just talk about a few of the small towns that are circling Charlotte. First up here is Concord. That's where the Charlotte Motor Speedway is. If you're a NASCAR person, hey, who wouldn't want to live up close to that? And so here's a school right here. That is the Cabarrus Early College of Technology. Now, again, your criteria of what a great school is, that might be it right there. I want something that's like for tech. And so as a middle school, and you know that your kids have a propensity towards that, you know how to tell, don't you? If the iPad is glued to their face. And, all right, just messing around. So here's one that's Cabarrus Kannapolis Early College. That sounds good too. Another small town right here is Kannapolis, the city of Cannon. Yeah, go look in your linen closet. You have a Cannon sheets, Cannon towels, and that's where the mill was, right there in Kannapolis, the city of Cannon. A really cool little small town. They got a baseball. So for instance, if you were looking for lifestyle for a family for middle school and you liked one of those schools, living up in Kannapolis, you're going to get a much better value on a home. We do a lot of new construction. We can help you with resale too. But, you know, to be able to afford a house that's out of Charlotte a ways and to be able to go take your kids to that downtown ballpark for some, you know, and that little, they got breweries and it's a really cool little town. And same with Concord. Great small town atmosphere and feel. Same thing with Harrisburg right here. So you say, hey, what about Harrisburg? Well, let's see what this one is. Hickory Ridge Middle. That's the one I mentioned a moment ago about the Empire Communities neighborhood that's very close to that. So you get where I'm going with this. I love Locust. I was there the other day. Locust Elementary is a 10. So if you didn't mind living out there, in fact, I know there's some great values there right now. And that's, you know, right off of exit 41 of 485 and heading out towards there. So, yeah, Belmont. So we talked about a lot of these. Here's Weddington. You're going to spend more for a house in Weddington. But the Weddington schools, Weddington High School, Weddington Middle School, crazy great schools. Even in Monroe. Monroe's another great small town, but the Central Academy of Technology and Arts, and there are some great new construction homes right in here. I love downtown Waxhaw, which is right here. So Fort Mill schools are renowned. Then you come down, you've got Palisades Park Elementary with a 9. Palisades is a very cool, and then you're right next to Lake Wiley. Nice. So guys, there are a lot of ways to look at it. Look in the link below to find this page. Give me a call. Tell me your criteria. And I'd love to talk you through some of this as I did with that woman today from Long Island. We're here to help you guys. And by the way, I put her in touch with one of my team. And he'll be talking to her today. And we coordinate with video. She seemed to like it when I said, you work with my team. And then if we find something that looks good, like I just mentioned down here in Monroe, there's some great new construction down there. Let's say they identify my team, my broker partner, I've got 4 of them, and she and her husband identify a price point, and maybe that school looks good. I can go shoot a house in that neighborhood, new construction that fits your criteria. I'm chomping at the bit to do that for you, to serve you in that way, to help you in the buying process. A lot of moving parts. We're here to help. Holler at your boy. Tell me your story. My cell number is 704-345-3400. I'll see you in the next video.